Hello everyone, my name is Nur Hazira binti Sharfunazri and I'm from group 2. So for this assignment 3, in this video, we are going to talk about how video games influence cognitive skills. So without further ado, let's go to the contents of this video. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the introduction and then my friend Darwisha Atira is going to present on the description of video games and brief explanation on how video games can influence cognitive skills. Thirdly, we have the impacts of video games to improve human potential that will be covered by Christine. Next, we have Serena and Shafidan who's going to present about the contribution of video games that can be applied to cognitive practices in Malaysia. And lastly, our friend Aline is going to conclude this video about this topic. So let us move to the introduction part. Basically, in this introduction, I'm going to explain on why should we learn the human mind. Is human mind so special to us? The human mind is very amusing because it can do a lot of things in our life. Thinking about how to complete your assignment or what to eat for dinner, these two are the perfect examples of what can our mind do. To prove, Goldstein 2011 stated that the mind creates and controls mental functions such as perception, attention, memory, and many other cognitive processes. This description actually tells us many functions that the mind is associated with. So now we are going to look at the importance of understanding the human mind from a cognitive psychology perspective. Firstly, by understanding the human mind, we can help researchers to understand complex cognitive processes such as learning, solving a problem, reasoning, and decision making. To understand how can we do the cognitive processes that I just mentioned before, we have to understand how our mind works when we are doing those tasks. Therefore, psychologists are able to investigate why we do what we do, how we acquire knowledge, and how can we solve problems because of the contribution that the study of the mind holds. So that's all for the introduction. And now the next slide will be continued by Darwisha Atira.
Hello and a very good day to everyone. So my name is Darwisha Atira binti Rosli. My matrix number is 73406. So today I'm going to present on the description of video games and brief explanation on how video games can influence cognitive skills. So let's get into it.
So first, this is the description of video games. Video games were originally made for entertainment purposes, especially for young adults and kids. Video games are interactive digital entertainments that you can play via laptop, game console, and many more. However, video games could be so addictive to some individuals as they often spend most of their times on those games, and it may affect them negatively. But to some cases, video games could also provide those players some new skills and help in their development of cognitive capabilities. Researchers believe that video games could alter one's mental abilities and also improving their special skills. Next, we will talk about the explanation on how video games can influence cognitive skills. So, different skills are required for every type of game as the players need to deal with the challenges and tricks in that particular game. This can somehow enhance their critical thinking on how to cope and solve the problems, and at the same time gives more advantages on refining their mental capacities growth. There are also games that includes planning and problem solving, games that focus on social and communication competency, and also games that require visual motor coordination and fast reflexes. Genres of games such as puzzle, strategy, actions are more anticipated in modifying spatial cognition as those kinds of games require perceptual and cognitive abilities. Generally, it can be seen that all these capabilities that are used in video games are also the same skills that are important in our life. Last but not least, To ensure that the objectives of using video games to develop cognitive functions and capabilities be reached, video games should be properly designed and the instructions must be provided efficiently. Methods that are commonly used by researchers to investigate the relationship between cognitive capacities and video games are comparing the person who loves to play games with a non gamer on special task tests. Major differences can be seen from those two people, and the one who usually expertise and succeed in special ability tests are the gamers as they acquire a lot of experiences as long as new knowledges while playing video games. This shows that video games really offer many benefits to an individual along with building up their cognitive proficiency.
Thank you, Dar. My name is Christine, anak unit number matrix 74520. The next slide that I will present is impact of video games to improve human potential. Among the skills that found, spatial navigation, memory, perception, and reasoning. One of the impacts that are found is helping to improve the ability to solve problems. Video games can strengthen a person's memory when using audio and visual memory to remember give instruction. The part of the brain will work more to help to think and find answer so that it can actively stimulate one's memory. Moreover, video games can help improve one's concentration and attention because their attention is only fully focused on games without feeling distraction and easily ignore the environmental situation. In addition, video games also help improve brain speed to grow and receive a new stimulation where despite having problems slow to think, but the video games can help someone think faster. The next impact can improve social skills through communication from the same video games indirectly able to establish collaboration among other players. The latter impact is good source of learning can be taken through appropriate video games education to children or adults. Through learning, video games can improve cognitive skill and stimulate innovative improvement and children's creativity. Next, video games can help reduce the pain faced through mind disorder, especially to children and adolescents. Finally, video games help provide good mental training and can slow down the aging process to adults. Thank you. The next slide represented by Serena and Shafida.
Thank you, Christine. My name is Natasha Serena Anak Nunggit. My matrix number is 75991. The next slide that I will explain is about contribution of video games that can be applied to cognitive practices in Malaysia. Firstly, video games challenge our mental skills. They help to improve our problem-solving skills. Players can sharpen their problem-solving skills by generating strategies and solving those problems on how they need to survive. Cognitive skills can be developed by playing video games. These skills are needed in professions that require manual labor. They also have higher spatial skills. These skills are needed by professions involving navigation and fixing equipment. Example, architect, engineers, pilot, mechanics, machine operators, and draftsmen. Second, video games also improve computer literacy and visual attention. Playing video games help children to develop attentional skills, which include emotional, cognitive, and motor skills. These skills help them to be aware of what happens in their surroundings and how to avoid danger. For example, in a situation when they cross the road safely. Next, video games can be used as therapy for people with dyslexia disease. This is because the main cause of dyslexia is the difficulty of attention. Video games will be able to help people with this disease to pay attention to a certain time. Other than that, playing video games can help to exercise our brain. Indirectly, it helps to improve the quality of life for those with brain disease. Example, Alzheimer's slowly recover as video games give impacts to the region of the brain that is responsible for memory and fine motor skills. The next explanation will be continued by Nur Shafida.
Hi, my name is Nur Shafida binti Muhammad Shah and my matrix number is 77637. I will continue Serena's explanation just now on contributions of video games that can be applied to cognitive practices in Malaysia. Let's continue. Video games helps kids and adults to practice using suitable strategy in problem solving. The ministers particularly need to have an excellent problem skills as they need to find means and ways to keep the country peaceful and harmony. And also, video games can instill a better social skill. Strong social skill creates an interpersonal interaction which lead to an outstanding job outcome. Developing social skills in younger generations prepare them to be able to interact well with others and come up with the ability to observe and respond in social situations. Since video games establish visual and spatial skills, the best careers for people with excellent visual and spatial skills are engineers, carpenters, as they are able to relate what they see in real with their surroundings, as they are able to construct something new from what is visualized earlier. Finally, it is also believed that video games improve one's ability to do multitasking. People with multitasking skills are able to take notes while listening to lecturers or responding to a call while driving. It is good to have the ability to do multitasking as they allow progress on multitasks. These skills are much needed if one wishes to become a television producer or an event planner. The next slides will be presented by Aline.
Thank you very much, Fida. And my name is Elena Nisha Mitizakri, and my matrix number is 74012. And I will be presenting our conclusion. In conclusion, video games influences cognitive skills and gives positive impacts by strengthening a range of cognitive skills such as spatial skills, visual attention, knowledge, problem solving, reasoning, memory, and mental rotation skills. Video games increases the brain activity and improve these various cognitive skills. Video games has different platforms that contributes to learning, social interaction, and health. It helps boost an individual's cognitive development. In education, video games help stimulate and improve an individual creativity and attention in learning. Video games also helps in terms of social interaction, where gamers develop a communication skill by collaborating with other players in the game. In health, video games greatly help an individual that suffers a disease and stress by taking the thought of their mind when playing video games as a coping method. Overall, adults and children cognitive proficiency is enhanced from interacting with video games.